Mic check, 1, 2. What is going on, ladies and lads? Welcome back to Planet Sci, guys. And here today, I will give you guys a brief rundown of how to make your life easier when it comes to officiating. This can go for any Rec Room League. Most of the rules are very similar, so what I'll do here is I'll go over the basics and potentially see if I can cover up some of the more advanced things. But however, there's no rule to advance for any ref, except for judgment. So, first rule. State the business. Obviously, controller checks. Controller checks are pretty simple. As long you have to go around and just check each and every player's controller, as you guys can see right here. All you have to do is make sure that it's not underneath the ground. Pretty simple stuff. If it is anywhere above the ground, it is a thumbs up. For any means, if any controller from any player is under the ground, then you will have to ask them to recalibrate their height to make sure that it's on the, well, proper basics. Pretty simple stuff, right? Okay, so second step, spin checks. Now, spin checks are not always, they're not in every single league, so this rule is not per se necessary for each and every league. However, I would say leagues such as Laser Tag League or even Rec Room Championships, where these are pretty vital. It is very simple. All you have to do is have the player just spin around and make sure their body is firmly in place. Please note, if the player is staring at the ground, it is going to look a little awkward. If you see their body flinging all around left and right, then obviously that is bad and they need to recalibrate. The reasoning for this rule is to make sure that the player is in their proper play space and they do not have an advantage whenever they turn left and right. Some shots can miss, and that really does ruin the fun in all of it. Now then, a new rule that has been adjusted or implemented is the voice check. This is something that not all leagues do. However, just to make sure all those nasties or even those who want to cheat and ruin the fun are around or go on somebody else's account, they want to ruin it for the other team, become viable. This method is pretty obvious. It allows for you to identify who that player is, and if it feels as if they are on somebody else's account, if it's not truly them, then obviously it would be put to judgment and needs to be checked out. So as far as voice checks go, it can be done in any given method. You can obviously a proper way of doing it, in my opinion, is to give them a word to use, but you always want to change the word. Reason as to why is because, like, say for example, you can say say moo. Moo. And obviously, next thing you know, next week you say the same thing to the same player. Say moo. Moo! Obviously, that's not the proper player. But, again, pretty simple stuff. Now, another thing to take note of when it comes to officiating, those are just the ground rules. Pretty simple stuff. Controller checks, make sure both sides are ready to go. And, of course, when both sides are obviously ready, you can push the start button. Now, for each and every league, it is very important to have any sort of spectating. Preferably, highly preferably, any sort of way of spectating that makes your body invisible. For here, I'm using Paintball League as an example. If you have yet to check them out, feel free to do so. But, as you guys can see, I don't know if I disappear far away, but the players who are obviously participating, they cannot see you, which is a great thing. You do not want to get any kind of, provide any interference to any players. And of course, you want to make sure you can fly all around. Make sure you get that nice, sweet, crisp angle of all the action that's happening. Try not to miss any, and of course, to make sure that all players are following the rules, not breaking anything or abiding to any bugs. Now, one thing that we are told not to do as an official, which is very important, is to not communicate with the players, unless something is horribly wrong. This rule is to be taken by high note. It is very important not to interfere because it could, I would say, potentially could change the outcome of the game based on how much you interfere with them. However, it's not something that commonly happens. Still, you don't want to be in the wrong, and of course, you don't want to be that individual who has to ruin the game for somebody. Now, lastly, I would say that when it comes to any sort of up-close action here or there, you're not supposed to get close to the players unless maybe if you get probably them out or so, or even as I prefer to do it, I'll just get a little bit of a close-up on them just to see if they're alright. Sometimes I'll have players who are like bugging out or just kind of just fall into the floor and die. One major tip that I would like to provide to you guys as well is the matter of, this is also something that not all leagues do, but I per se think it is a very beneficial one. It's tricky, but it still works. Is going into the floor. Granted, you don't want the players to see your name, and be very cautious because after a while you cannot see the players. You have to be pretty close in order for them to be visible. Now, this method works on every map, but of course, I would say this should only be used or needed in advanced maps that have bigger closings, such as Spillway or even Homestead. Sometimes potentially Quarry, if they're in those containers, but it's not very common where you'll actually need to use a scenario like this on Quarry. Besides that, though, that's pretty much it. Now, if you guys have any questions in regards to officiating, you guys are more than welcome to send me a DM on Discord. Let me just pull that up because sometimes I do potentially forget my Discord name. Or I can also put in a link as well, just as a heads up, to make it easier. But it is sci-fi, SCI-FAI 9031 #. And I do wish you guys all the best of luck for those who are brand new to officiating. And I hope you absolutely enjoy the experience and make something out of it. Once again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to send me a DM, and I'll be more than happy to help you out the best of my ability. If you are wondering how to set up your Streamlabs or even OBS, I do have another video on my channel, on my YouTube channel, so you guys are more than welcome to check that out. Once again, good luck, go get them, and try to be the best official you can be. As I always say, don't give up on your dreams, keep it on up sky high, and last but not least, live life to the fullest, one name at a time. Hope you guys have a good day, night, wherever you are. Hope to see you guys next time on Planet Sci. Have a good one, everybody.